6 cards. There we go. Oh my gosh, that is like the jackpot. Roxy. Oh my god. We do have 4 Roxys in this deck, so it's not that unlikely to be drawing that by now, because it's already our like 4th or 3rd turn. But it is, you know, you never know. They might be all stacked in the bottom of the deck, so it's still pretty lucky of me. We have a Giant Hearth, I think. Yep, we do have a Giant Hearth. Oh my gosh, we can knock out... Oh, we can actually... No, we can't knock it out with an Espurr. We can knock out the Gardevoir V. I prefer to knock it out now. It's better to knock it out now. If we don't knock it out now, it's gonna evolve, it's gonna heal. Gardevoir VMAX is crazy. They could have a mysterious tin can or whatever that thing's called, and then we're screwed. So I don't want to be putting Espurr. This is actually tricky, because that Altaria is gonna be... It's gonna be difficult to get past, because we have no way of attacking it. We have no Meowth. Meowth is the only way to attack that Altaria with the Tail Whop, because Espurr can't attack the active Pokemon. Let's just Flaming Shot and knock out the Altaria. So we are actually doing pretty well because they have no other cards. They are playing no other cards. And Crobat V is pretty much dying. So now we only need very few. I'm gonna switch that one for energy cards. Hello everybody, welcome back to Bearware the Terrible. So today we have another standard deck for you called the Volcanic Rush. So in Volcanic Rush, we are featuring our Cosmic Eclipse card, Volcarona GX. Volcarona has the Flaming Shot ability, allowing you to put 2 damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon, but it requires you to discard a Fire Energy card from your hand, and it only allows you to do it once every turn for each Volcarona GX you have in play. So the ability has its limits. You need to discard a Fire Energy from your hand, and it only allows you to do it once every turn for each Volcarona in play. So you need to think about getting out your Fire Energy cards as fast as possible. You need to think about evolving Volcarona because it is a stage 1 Pokemon. And we are featuring this deck off of its ability, obviously, and also we are planning to attack with Backfire as well. But we are the main idea of this deck is to use its ability in pair with our Caturday card, Espurr's Ear Kinesis, because Ear Kinesis will do a lot of damage after we accumulate all of the damage counters with our Flaming Shot. So Flaming Shot and Roxy with the Blow Away Bomb cards will allow us to place a lot of damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon. Hopefully they are bench Pokemon, or if we decide to damage their active Pokemon, we can use a Fion to push that into the bench and then use Ear Kinesis to knock it out later. But the idea is to use Flaming Shot and Ear Kinesis in pair with one another. It is that combination that we are interested in this deck. So how do we charge up our Espurr? Because Ear Kinesis is quite high. The attack cost is 1 Psychic and 2 colorless energies. We charge it with our Unbroken Bonds Persian card with the Gathering of Cats ability, essentially allowing us to deal our Ear Kinesis for 0 energy cost, because Gathering of Cats allows any card with the Caturday attack to have no energy cost for all of its attacks as long as it has the Caturday attack. So Persian is our power card. That is why we need 3 of each Meowth and Persians. And we also have 4 Espurrs, because Espurr is the only card we are it is the main card we are trying to attack with, but it is not the only card that we are aiming to attack with, because we are trying to we are intending, we need to be charging up our Volcarona GX early on in the game, because that is how we are gonna have our plan B ready to go from the get-go, because we want to be able to deal damage with our backfire, because backfire does a lot of damage for only 3 energies. So 160, and you put 2 fire energies back into your hand, which is not a good thing. That is why we need to keep charging up Volcarona. If it has 4 energy already attached to it, then we can do 2 back-to-back backfire attacks consecutively, turn after turn, dealing 320 damage. And 160 a turn is a lot, because we get to pile up those damage counters on their active Pokemon with Flaming Shot as well. If we have 3 Volcarona GXs on our bench in play, then we get to deal 6 damage counter on their active Pokemon or on their bench, and we get to do even more with our Blow Away Bomb per turn. So if we can't deal backfire on our turn, then we have to think about doing it the next turn, because we can actually pile up a lot of damage by our next turn to do a knockout with backfire. So backfire actually does a lot because of the damage counter that we get to accumulate on all of their Pokemons with Blow Away Bomb, and on their active or their bench Pokemon with Flaming Shot. So Flaming Shot is our special effect of this deck. It is the main effect of this deck. And we have Fion, we have 4 of each Volcaronas and Larvesta, because that is our main card. And we have 4 Espurrs as well. So the reason this deck is called Volcanic Rush, if you haven't already noticed, is because we are featuring this deck of a Volcarona GX, which is the reason it's called Volcano. But Volcanic Rush is also the name of an ice cream sundae. And because it is a wordplay here, instead of Caturday Saturday, we are using the Sunday name. So the name of a ice cream sundae, which is Volcanic Rush. So it's a bit of a a bit of a off track kind of thing. But let's get back to the deck. So we have 4 Roxies, 4 Coughings, and 3 Wheezings. We don't want to have too many of those cards because we need space for other cards. We have 2 Fire Crystals, 1 Giant Hearth. Giant Hearth is not that good because you do need to discard a card from your hand, and you can't be discarding any cards from your hand. When you play this deck, you'll notice that every card is valuable. You can't be discarding anything. Because you just have, the deck is just so bulky that you need everything in the deck. So it's better not to be using your Giant Hearth unless they play a card like, the reason I have it is because it's a stadium card, and you need a stadium card to be able to displace a Prism Star stadium card, such as a Wondrous Labyrinth or a Black Market. Those 2 are the most dangerous cards that you can see that they can play on a deck. And also Spikemuth can be a bit dangerous as well, because we are playing very weak Pokemons here. So if we need to displace if we need to kick out any of our opponent's stadium cards, then we can play our Giant Hearth. Otherwise, Giant Hearth might not be that useful for this deck, because you need to discard a card from your hand to be able to draw out 2 energy cards. But then sometimes it might be better to do that, because doing Flaming Shot right off the bat from the gate, from very early on in the game, is much better than to wait until you have energy cards in your hand. But that is the reason we have Roxy. Roxy allows you to draw out 6 cards into your hand as long as you discard any Pokemon that is not GXs. So we do have 4, 5, 6. We have 6 GXs in this deck, meaning we can't discard those 6 cards with our Roxy. But we have a lot of other Pokemons in this deck. We have, let me just check the numbers. So 28 minus 6, we have 22 Pokemons. We have 22 Pokemon cards in this deck that we are allowed to discard with Roxy to be able to draw out 6 Pokemons. And we have Pokemon Communications as well to switch out for a Coughing or Wheezing. We have Evolution Incense to summon our Wheezing or our Volcarona GX. We have 3 Quick Balls and 3 Sonias to set up our bench Pokemon and our basic Pokemon as fast as possible. We need our Meowth, Larvesta, and our Espurr. As fast as possible, we need to charge as many Larvestas, 2 Meowths is possible, and we don't need to worry about Espurr because Meowth Persian has 0 retreat cost. So after you evolve Persian, after you evolve Meowth, as your active Pokemon, you get to switch out for an Espurr, meaning you get to play Espurr on your turn, and then switch it out for the Ear Kinesis attack. We don't need to worry about setting Espurr out. Espurr can come on later in the game. We need to prepare our Larvestas and our Meowth. That is the only two cards we need to prepare. We need to prepare 2 Meowths and 3 Larvestars if possible. But sometimes it's better to have only 2 Larvestars. It's better to have more Meowths because they can knock out a Meowth and then you'll have no cards to be able to use your Ear Kinesis with. Because Ear Kinesis rely heavily upon our Persian's ability to be able to do damage. Because we can't charge it with Psychic Energy. We have no Psychic Energies in this deck. So we have 10 Fire Energies, we have Fire Crystals, 2 Fire Crystals to take them back and to retrieve them. And we have 3 Marnies, 1 breeder, Pokemon Breeders Nurturing, 2 Bird Keepers, and 3 Sonias. So that is all. That's about all for the deck list. We have 1 Fiona as well, and 2 Didin GXs. So I think that's it. So now let's go for gameplay. Before we get going, I need to talk about the music today. So today we are featuring EDM music from Electro Dance Mixes. So that is the music that I'm featuring today. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead, check out their channel, check out their music. They feature great music. So today's music theme is dance electro house music. So let's get going with our game. Hope you enjoy the music. So the main concern of our deck is to get out those Volcarona GXs as fast as possible. If we have 2, it's already enough, but obviously if we can get out 3, that would be better. If we can get out 3, we can place 6 damage counters every turn on our opponent's Pokemon in any way we like, but obviously it's 2 at a time, but we get to play 6 as long as we have energy cards in our hand. And we do need to be charging our Larvestas from the get-go because that allows us a free attack, backfire as just in case Espurr gets knocked out, or just in case we need to attack with Volcarona GX before we get our Espurr out. Because sometimes we don't have Bird Keepers, we're gonna have to rely on Larvesta showing up. So they have an Altaria deck, which might not actually be good because we have Volcarona GXs. If they put a bench Pokemon, I'm gonna use a Fion and then I'm gonna evolve my Volcarona. Maybe use a massive Heat Wave. We actually have a good GX attack to use here because we are not using Didin's Tingly Return just because we are a fire-based deck, meaning the only GX attack we are allowed to use in this deck is Massive Heat Wave, which is actually a very good one because you get to discard an energy from each of your opponent's Pokemon. So that can actually reset their energy count by a lot, because 1 from each of their Pokemon, that is a lot. As long as they don't rely on charging a heavy attack cost Pokemon, then Massive Heat Wave can actually do a lot of do a lot of damage to them. So it's very important to see what you can get with your Sonia, because sometimes you might need a Didin, sometimes you might need a Fion. You never really know. I'm just gonna get 2 cats here because I don't want Persian to be knocked out. It's actually better to get a Larvesta because that Larvesta is probably gonna get knocked out. I don't want it getting knocked out, so you know what? I'm just gonna use Massive Heat Wave. Let's pass the turn actually. Massive Heat Wave is better to use when they have more Pokemons in play. Altaria is not gonna do much to us, so we can actually retreat for better, to do better. The breeder just showed up at the wrong time. So they have no bench Pokemon. Fion Espurr would be useless. Volcarona can't do anything. You're actually really screwed here. So we can Bird Keeper the next turn at least. They are using Dark Energies, so maybe they're probably gonna have like supporting cards. They might not be placing it on their bench yet. Yep, there we go. So 60 is not gonna kill us, not yet. There we go. It's better when they place a GXV Pokemon, then we know they can't scoop it up. Because Acerola and AZ is no longer standard. Those two cards are really annoying when you find them in the expanded format because you can damage them pretty heavily and then they can just use Acerola or AZ to take back that Pokemon, put it back into their hand, is essentially healing all damage from it, you know? So it's basically really annoying when you're up against decks with Acerola and AZ, because those are supporter cards and it allows you to put any Pokemon, not just non-Vs and GXs. It allows you to put those V cards into your hand as well. So we can do our Espurr now. But we're gonna need no. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's hope we have a Persian. Oh yes, Persian. Okay, that's not bad. Let's do damage to the Crobat V. 60 is gonna kill it though. So it's a I should actually have knocked out the Altaria with my Flaming Shot, but actually I can do it the next turn. I can use a Fion and Flaming Shot, but I don't have Fire Energy though, so the bad thing about Espurr is it's, well, 60 HP. It gets knocked out after you do one Ear Kinesis, so it's only good for one Ear Kinesis. Don't expect it to stay for another turn. It's just gone like the next turn. It's just gone. So Crobat V, because it's the only bench Pokemon, we can actually Fion that out, fish it out with a Fion, and then use Backfire. Volcarona is obviously heavily damaged, but we can't really be doing anything else unless we have a good supporter card. Okay. We can Fion. Oh my gosh. It's better to get a Dedenne actually. So let's get a Dedenne and a Fion. Let them switch that out. Should have actually done it after the Giant Heart, because now now it's actually possible to draw back that Fion, which I don't really want to, because it's better to keep it at the bottom. 240. That it's gonna be knocked out the next turn if I have another Flaming Shot. Altaria is gonna be a problem though. So if I have an Espurr, I'm gonna knock out the Altaria first. There we go, we have an Espurr. Shit. I used Flaming Shot wrong. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna place this one because it can actually evolve the next turn. So I'm gonna use Backfire. It's probably gonna get knocked out the next turn, but there's just no saving it. At least it gets one hit before it dies. It gets to hit once. So he's gonna do Max Cutter probably. Stealth Poison. So we can Espurr Fion right now. 40. Yep, we can actually knock out the Altaria pretty easily. 60. We're not gonna knock out the VMAX that easily though. That VMAX is actually scary. So what am I gonna do? Let's evolve. Not sure if I should evolve here. Singe is useless. Is it though? Singe does 20. Would it be enough? Yeah. Let's just get it and see what we can do. Cause 20, we can actually do Tail Warp to knock out the Crobat V the next turn. Ooh, I'm in such a dilemma. Okay, let's just do what we can now. Let's just Flaming Shot and knock out the Altaria. So we are actually doing pretty well because they have no other cards. They are playing no other cards. And Crobat V is pretty much dying. So now we only need very few. I'm gonna switch that one for energy cards. I'm not gonna be charging my Volcarona anymore, but it might actually be smart to use Marnie to get a Bird Keeper. I only have one left though, one Bird Keeper left. If they boss order out my Volcarona, then well, we can do nothing. Only thing we can do is max Heat Wave, but actually we can knock it out because it's only 40 left. So 40, 2 Flaming Shot is enough to knock it out. There we go, boss order, predictable. Should have charged the Volcarona, sorry guys. That was a little bit stupid of me. So, what am I gonna do now? Let's just knock out the Crobat VMAX. We have no means of switching. The only way is with the Bird Keeper, which we have already used up one. So that's probably going to be another VMAX pretty soon. Just something to watch out for. Should have really be careful. I should have been more careful with my energy attachment. What am I gonna do? We're probably not gonna get that quick ball. So let's just shuffle that energy back into. That's Fire Crystal actually. Fire Crystal, then Marnie. Because then we get to summon it with our Hearth later, if they don't discard it. So we got another crystal, that's really good. They get to knock out our Volcarona. Nothing we can do. We get to shuffle our deck with our Incense at least. If they knock out our Persian, we get another Persian. But Persian's useless if they don't have any bench. So that's probably going to be a VMAX, and it's probably going to use Max Cutter pretty easily. So we're going to have to think about our Heat Wave the next turn. Max Heat Wave can actually stall them for one turn, meaning they're going to have to use Venomous Fang or the switch one. I can't remember what the switchy attack is. Stealth Poison. The Stealth Poison does 110 less damage, so that's actually good. But then after that we can't do anything. Volcarona is dead. If they have a boss order even, we can't survive it because they have 3 prize cards left. Probably gonna get a Crobat V or a Divine GX with that quick ball. I'm not sure what they have in hand. Boss order. Okay, Didine. So we can knock out a Didine. We don't actually have enough though. We need Roxy. So that's bad. Ooh, that's really bad. We need 10 left. 1 damage counter left. I'm just gonna put well play because doesn't look too well for us. We just need 1 more Zigzagoon and knock out the Espurr and we're done for. So what can we do now? That Slowbro is actually bad for them. So we can actually knock out a Didine. Oh no, not yet. Roxy. If only we have another Incense or something. Let's just do that. It's actually better to save Espurr. We can't really do anything. That's a little annoying because we almost knock out the Didine, and if they have a switch, we're done for. So I'm actually not really liking this. It's really annoying. If they knock out our Espurr, we're gonna have to get another Espurr out. Not sure how many we have left. There we go. They won the game. Probably gonna have a Zigzagoon and some way of knocking out the Espurr. Just a switch. All they need a Dark City or a switch and a Zigzagoon or a Scoop of Net. And they can even Crobat or Professor's Research for multi. There we go. It's just soul crushing. Well played. So the damage counter placement actually knocks out our Volcarona. I didn't realize how how low the HP is. 210 is not a lot. So they actually did manage to knock us out. Woohoo! Phew, that was close. So we get to Roxy for the win. That was very unusual. Let's discard the Bird Keeper, get a Coughing, and Roxy for the win. Sorry about that, the ads just doesn't go away. Probably should do something about that. There we go. I'll do something about that later. So we knock out the Didine with our Blow Away Bomb. That was pretty satisfying. Because we have 10 left. If they knock out our Volcarona GX, they win. But we get to knock out their Didine GX first before before they do anything. So they could have actually knocked out our Espurr, but they decided to switch to that Galarian Slowbro. So that was actually a wrong move for them. They shouldn't have switched it out. They should have just knocked out the Espurr. But I guess they are afraid of our Volcarona. Charizard VMAX. They love that deck box. I've faced so many opponents with the Charizard VMAX deck box. The EV VMAX deck box is also pretty famous. I think those are like Shining Fates deck box. That's why you see it everywhere. People love new stuff. The newer, the fancier, right? I'm so fancy. You already know. Okay. We got a Sonia and a Quick Ball. That's really good. Super satisfying. Perfect setup for the first turn. If they don't reset them, then we are perfect. Very unlikely that they're gonna reset them unless they have a Dedenne in hand and they don't want to be discarding their reset stamp, then maybe they'd be using it. Let's hope that's not the case. There we go, yay! We get to use Sonia. Sonia for those two. Quick Ball for a Dedenne, perhaps? No, we actually have a Persian. So let's just charge our Larvesta. We could draw cards with our Caturday, or we could prepare the Larvesta already. I prefer to just prepare the Larvesta. We can't do much anyways. It's only 30. They can't knock out our... Let's put the Espurr. Okay, we evolve the next turn, Dedenne the next turn. If they don't Marnie, get to have a Persian and a Dedenne. Okay, that's good. Volcarona could do backfire in 2 more turns if they don't have any more hammers. Hammers are just annoying. They should really ban that card. I'm just saying it because I don't have any hammers in my deck. But if I do, I would actually like hammers not to get banned. So it's actually a selfish thing, isn't it? We have a Dedenne. We can't be taking... We have to get a Dedenne with this one. Because we can't use Quick Ball anymore. So... At least we saved the coughing. I don't want to be discarding my coughing. So that's probably why I do that. Yep, it's better to discard a Quick Ball than a coughing. So let's do that. Sonia. Let's get one attached. And then Marnie. Maybe Caturday. Yeah, that's like we can't do anything else. No evolution card. That's really annoying. So we can't be tail whopping because we have no supporter cards. Okay, we have Volcarona at least. We can do 180. Still not enough to knock it out. They're probably gonna evolve and heal it. So that's not good. If we have a Roxy, that would be perfect. Because Roxy not only allows us to do damage, to place damage counters on all of their Pokemons. We have coughings. It also allows us to draw 6 cards. There we go. Oh my gosh, that is like the jackpot. Roxy. Oh my god, we do have 4 Roxys in this deck, so it's not that unlikely to be drawing that by now, because it's already our like 4th or 3rd turn. But it is, you know, you never know, they might be all stacked in the bottom of the deck, so it's still pretty lucky of me. We have a Giant Hearth, I think. Yep, we do have a Giant Hearth. Oh my gosh, we can knock out... Oh, we can actually... No, we can't knock it out with an Espurr. We can knock out the Gardevoir V. I prefer to knock it out now. It's better to knock it out now. If we don't knock it out now, it's gonna evolve, it's gonna heal. Gardevoir VMAX is crazy. They could have a mysterious tin can or whatever that thing's called, and then we're screwed. So I don't want to be putting Espurr. This is actually tricky because that Altaria is gonna be difficult to get past because we have no way of attacking it. We have no Meowth. Meowth is the only way to attack that Altaria with the Tail Whop, because Espurr can't attack the active Pokemon. And well, we can Singe it. We can also Flaming Shot twice, but that's not gonna do enough. It's 110 HP. We can Roxy for even more, so we can put 6 damage counters on it, and we can Singe it for another 20. That is a total of 100. If they don't retreat, it's gonna be 120. So, oh, they actually haven't evolved it yet, so that's perfect. Let's knock out the Alakazam. It's 190 though. This is tough. So am I gonna Roxy? Am I gonna Bird Keeper? What am I gonna do? Let's Bird Keeper. I don't wanna deal with the Altaria, so I'm just gonna kill the Altaria. That thing is a beast. I know it's a beast, but well, I'd rather be facing the Alakazam V than the Altaria. It's probably not a smart idea, but they could actually Great Catcher our Volcarona and then do a lot of damage to us. So I'm actually really scared now. Should have discarded the Larvesta. Oh dear. I've used up all my Flaming Shots. Oof, this is scary because they could boss order anything. They could boss order our Persian, they could boss order the Volcarona GX. Fingers crossed they don't have a boss. Oh dear. They have a boss. That's annoying. What am I gonna do? Let's do that one. Let's do that one. We are down to 3 price cards for both players. That's not bad. We can keep doing Flaming Shots, so I'm not too worried. They have Fire Crystal. They could knock out something though. So we can attack with our Meowth. That's the only thing we can do now. Let's discard. What do we discard? Let's discard 1 Persian. Okay. And then attach that energy. attack with our Meow. And if they choose to kill a Volcarona, then at least we get to Roxy Flaming Shot for 40 damage. That means we need another Meowth. Oh, we have a Larvesta. So a Larvesta can Singe it for the last 20 damage and we can knock out the Alakazam V. If they put another V card, then we have to worry about that one as well. Should have knocked out the Alakazam V because Altaria is not really that menacing. It's not really that scary because you can just Flaming Shot it to death, which is what I'm trying to do right now with Alakazam V, which is not a good idea. But now that they place bench Pokemon, we can actually Fion to knock it out with an Espurr. So it's easy now. Easier. Okay, they have a Cursala. Oh, we can actually knock out. We actually won the game now. So we have to be careful. Roxy to damage the Swablu by 20. 2 damage counters on the Swablu. And then Flaming Shot to knock out the Swablu. And then Fion. Fion Earkinesis to knock out the Alakazam. So I'm gonna be super careful because you can't be making any mistakes when you are trying to knock out 2 Pokemons at once. So Swablu and Swablu again, and then Fion. There we go. Earkinesis for the win. Whew. That was close. 300 damage. Oh my gosh. Okay, we won the game. Whew, that was close. I got really scared with the Altaria there. Because you could actually attach 2 powerful energy to an Altaria and you could do 100 damage with an Altaria. And Altaria can actually knock out an Espurr, it can knock out a lot of things. And we can't damage Altaria with our Volcarona GX, we can only be placing Flaming Shot damage counters on it. But as you saw just now, they boss ordered out our Volcarona GX, meaning we can't backfire. We can't hit it with a backfire because they knock it out first. So, you know, it's kind of a risk either way. So it's just something to think about. So that is all for our new deck, Volcanic Rush, featuring our Caturday Sunday card, the Volcanic Sunday Supreme, which is our Volcarona GX with the backfire attack, which is a pretty handy attack to be using, but it is 3 energy cost, meaning if they Crushing Hammer, it's going to be hard for you to charge up one by one. But we are not focusing on that attack, we are featuring this deck off of its ability, the Flaming Shot ability, and Espurr, Caturday Espurr's Earkinesis, which you guys are probably very familiar with that card. I made a deck previously with the Greninja. It is an expanded format, so Greninja GX allows you to place 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, any of your opponent's Pokemon, as you evolve Greninja GX. And Greninja GX also has the Haze Slash attack, allowing you to deal 110 damage for 3 energy costs, 1 water energy and 2 colorless energies. And it also allows you to shuffle, it also allows you the option to shuffle Greninja GX and all cards attached to it into your deck. So essentially allowing you to recycle its ability, to allow you to recycle the ability that when you evolve it, you get to place damage counter on your opponent. And it also has the matching Frogadier card, which is the stage 1 evolution of Greninja, which does the same ability as the Shuriken ability, but it only allows you to put 2 damage counters as you evolve the Frogadier. So it's almost the same as this one, because the only difference is that Volcarona is a fire type and it is a stage 1, and Flaming Shot only does 2 damage counters, and it is a Cosmic Eclipse card, meaning it is in standard format. So it's better. This deck is better because it's in standard format, meaning you get to compete in the standard format. Standard formats are more competitive, as we all know, because we have new cards. People are using VMAXs, Vs. That means you get to compete against those high-end cards, high-end players, those top players. So we also have our Caturday Gathering of Cats Unbroken Bonds Persian, which is very famous. People love the Caturday decks. I'm not sure why. Probably because Caturday Espurr is a one price card. But we are not only playing one price here. We have the Green GXs, we have Volcarona GX. They can easily boss order out them and knock it out for 2 price cards. So it is not that good a deck to be using if you are playing against ADPZ or super good decks, decks that are, you know, built to perfection. It's not a very competitive deck to be playing, but it is a very fun deck to be playing because we have our Roxys as well. We can place damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon very easily, but we do need to be evolving a lot of cards. We need to evolve a lot of Volcaronas, a lot of Persians. We need at least 2 Persians, 1 Persian or 1 Meowth in play just in case they knock out the Persian. And the Volcaronas, it's pretty iffy card to use as well because you need a lot of fire energy cards in hand, and you need to attach fire energy to it as well because, as I said just now, as I said earlier in this video, it is a good plan B, because if Espurr gets knocked out, or if we don't have any Espurrs anymore, or if Persian gets knocked out, then we get to use Backfire for 160 damage, which is a lot because it does pile up, damage counters pile up on your opponent's Pokemon, and you can knock out a VMAX if you do 1 Backfire attack and a lot of damage counter accumulation from your Flaming Shot and your Roxy Blowaway Bomb, because those damage counters, they accumulate turn after turn, and within 3 turns you can already accumulate as much as 120 or 120 or 150 damage on their VMAX Pokemon plus 160, and on that turn if you do another Flaming Shot you could knock out a VMAX already. So that is the base of this deck. Is basically the foundation is trying to put damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon and then hit it with Ear Kinesis while charging up your Volcarona GX for a Backfire attack ready to go whenever you need the Volcarona GX to attack. But it is a GX Pokemon, meaning you don't get to hit a Altaria, you don't get to hit a Decidueye, and you need to be careful because your opponent takes 2 price card for it. So, and if it gets knocked out, you don't get to use Flaming Shot anymore. So it is a lot of restrictions there, but it is a fun deck to play with. As I said, it's not perfect. It is just you know, cool to challenge yourself because you don't see a lot of people using this card. It is still Cosmic Eclipse. It's pretty it's not too old, but it's also not too new as well. So, but you still don't see a lot of this card being played. You know, it's pretty much it's not that useful, but it's also not that useless. So it's kind of an average, slightly above average card. I quite like it because it's a stage 1 Pokemon and it has basically the same ability as the old Decidueye, which allows you to place 2 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon every turn, except you need to be discarding a energy card from your hand, and it's not just any energy, you need to discard a fire energy. But we get Giant Hearth, we got Fire Crystals. Fire decks are pretty awesome. You get to use Welder to charge it as well, so you can have a lot of ideas, you can have a lot of formations with Volcarona GX. You can play around with this card by matching it with other cards. You don't need to be playing a Caturday deck, you can be playing other cards with your Volcarona GX. You can be focusing on its attack as well, and you can be focusing maybe on a Galarian Obstagoon or Cursula V. You can add those cards to this deck, or a Sigilyph from Rebel Clash. You know, you can play around with this card. You know, use your own ideas and imagination. So that is the main fun you can get out of this game. Be original and have fun exploring new ways to build a deck out of a card. So that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already to see more interesting videos. If you find our videos entertaining, please join our subscription, and also check the description for any updates or any promo codes that we might have. And also, please leave comments below if you have any feedbacks, questions, challenges, anything, any thoughts that you want to leave behind to this to our new deck, or if you want us to make new decks from a specific card or whatever, or if you want us to make expanded or standard decks featuring a certain card or a certain expansion, just let us know in the comments below. We'll do it for you. So hope to hear from you soon in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day and keep playing, keep having fun. This game is about having fun and collecting experience, not about perfecting, not about collecting wins, not about being the top player. No, it's, you know, it's still good to be competitive, but we have to think about having fun. As long as you're having fun, you'll keep climbing up the ladder naturally. And it's better to be natural with things than to force it. It's better to be natural. So that's all. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye for now.